Hey, what's up, fellas? It's Coach Graham coming back at you again with some more 5-tool baseball information and things that you can do at home while we're social distancing and quarantining and can't get on the baseball field and get ourselves better. But this is stuff you can do around the house, out in the front yard, in the backyard, whatever may it be, some calisthenics, some stuff, agility stuff to kind of keep you in shape, keep you moving, and keep you kind of fine-tuned as we wait for the baseball season to kick back in. This is stuff that is everybody can do. It's not position specific. It is good stuff that you can do. Like I said, if you don't have any weights, you can't get to the weight room, that you can do in a confined space or in a parking lot, out in the yard, on the porch, in your bedroom, any time of the day. And you can do how many reps you want to do, 10 to 15, how many sets added into a circuit. We're going to try to do some stuff with some legs. I'll show you some arm exercises and that you can do with just doing stuff around the house, canned goods, things like that. All right, let's get started. First thing we're gonna do a classic exercise that we can work on for our legs. It's gonna work, all parts of our lower body. It's gonna work our glutes. It's gonna work our hamstrings. Hamstrings is gonna work our quads, and that's everybody's favorite exercise, air squats, and it's simple. All we want to do is make sure we get our feet about shoulder width apart. And we're going to go down. We don't want to break 90 degrees. We don't want to squat all the way to the ground. We want to keep our chest up and our shoulders high. And we're just going to find a nice little rhythm. Squat and back up. Squat and back up. Keeping your toes straight. Squat. And remember, pushing from the ball of your foot or the heel of your foot. Don't push on. You don't get on your toes. You're causing the stress to your knees. So like I said, about 10 to 15 reps of air squats. All right, we can add another deviation to it. We can do jump squats, which y'all love. I made y'all do these, and it's basically the same position. We're squatting and we're jumping. Squat and jumping. Hit the ground, get right back up. Driving up, creating power. This is good for power and creating power in the legs. We even get so much where we throw our hands up and we can try to increase our vertical leap with that exercise as well. So that's a good 2-leg exercise I gave you. Next, I'm going to give you another one that's really going to work the quads. Like I said, that exercise, those 2 exercises work the glutes, the quads, and the hamstrings. A little bit of calf work when we drive all up and we get through extension. Like I said, those exercises are good for creating power in the legs. So we're going to give you another one that's stationary. We're going to give you a split stance. This is good like just a lunge, stationary lunge. You can do these traveling across the room, across the yard, but we're gonna start out. We don't want to get our leg way out here. We want to get our feet right up under me again. And we don't want to lean forward, causing jarring in our knees. We want to get a good squat, not too far my body length. My hands here, my core is tight, my shoulders are back, and we're gonna go straight down and back up. Straight down, back up. This exercise is good again for your core. It's good for balance. It's because we're only working off one leg. You do 10 to 15 each leg, get there, and then just switch legs. Step out to the left, boom, get that left leg some work, straight down, straight up. My chest is high. I'm squeezing my core when I go down. Again, those are good for your quads and your legs. And we also do calf raises. Another one good for the calves. You stand there and go up on your tippy toes and work your calves. Don't bounce. That's not doing nothing. Go up. Hold for a second or 2 count, back down. Up, hold for a second or 2 count. You can also do this with bands. You gotta go up, and you have a band, you can work on your lateral raise, working your deltoid. But that's 3 exercises that I've done that you can do stationary. You also could do, like I say, dynamic warm-up stuff. We can do high knees, chopping your knees. You can do butt kicks. All of those exercises are good for working your quad, and you're stretching out your lower body area. We can also do a little shuffle. I don't want to go too far around the camera, so I'm start over here. We can shuffle and then stretch the groin. Lean to the side. Shuffle, stretch your groin. And your groin area is on the inside. You just tend to pull those when running, especially like catchers. You squat down a lot, making that quick lateral movement could hurt your groin area. Pull it, which is a devil of a time trying to get that area to heal along with our legs. And guys, we need to do these lower body exercises, need to do these core exercises, because that's what is going to hold you up in the long run. And the thing about it, if I have a weak core, I'm gonna have bad hamstrings. I got bad hamstrings, you know, I have a weak core, weak quad area. Those muscles that are weak in those areas have to compensate and make up ground for the weaker muscles. So again, these are things that you could do, again, around the house. You can do stationary butt kicks. You do stationary butt kicks, my hands at 90-degree angle, and just pump and kick myself in the butt. Stationary butt kicks. We also do stationary high knees, getting them knees up, running in place, and we want a forward lean when we're doing that, because we want to create everything with forward momentum and getting them up and off the ground as fast as possible. So, also we can work the hip. I want to work our hips. We can stand here, you grab a fence post, or put your hand on the wall. You can do leg swings. I'm gonna do it without a wall here, and you just, my leg cross and back up. Hold yourself on the side, let the leg break the midline, and get it up as far as you can. See, I'm old, I can't get my legs up that high. Then switch over and try to get that leg up as high as we can. So we get those hip muscles, those hip flexor muscles loose. So we can tell you got tight hip flexor muscles. When you're running, it looks like you're falling down or you're leaning forward, and those hip muscles will not be able to stabilize the hips and keep you upright running. Yes, we want to lean forward when we're running, but we don't want to run as if I'm falling down. What's going on, fellas? All right, I got my trusty band. Give y'all some shoulder exercises to do, some arm exercises to do. If you got a band, I got this medical band from physical therapy. If some of y'all went to physical therapy or not, or you just got a regular tube band that you can get from Walmart or whatever at home. But these are good for, we can work our chest, we can work our arms with these things, work on our shoulders, work on our deltoid muscles, and strengthen our rotator cuff muscles, our scapula, infrafinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis muscles. Those are the muscles that make up your rotator cuff. And as we know, our rotator cuff is vital for us to throwing the ball and sustaining a long career playing baseball. And these exercises usually, you know, that muscle usually wears and tears for guys who's pitching and throw the ball a lot. We also get some exercises, some work on the anterior deltoid and working the glenohumeral joint, which is your joint right in here where a lot of guys tend to tear their labrum, which is a deep muscle inside the shoulder area, which causes a lot of pain and could end a career. So we want to give you some exercises to do that you can do with a band. You know, you can always hook this band to a fence, but I'm going to do it for the sake of standing right here in front of y'all in the camera. We all know about internal and external rotation. Just grab your band or whatever you got here, and we want to get here, we want to work on external rotation. We want to lock the shoulder, make sure it's locked in real good, and externally rotate that. Rotate that shoulder, really about 10 to 15 each arm. All right, we can also get some, you can also do it like this as well and get some internal rotation, pulling the hand behind you, creating the tension, and just here and rotating that shoulder down and back up, keeping that elbow at a 90-degree angle and making sure we just rotating that shoulder joint, and say 10 to 15 times each arm. You can do 2 sets. Shouldn't take you long, guys. It ain't a lot of flapping. It's nice and smooth, carrying the shoulder through the full range of motion. All right, just gave you internal, external rotation. Now I'm gonna give you lateral raises. We just drop this down here for lateral raises. Drop the man down. And we're just gonna go out to the side. Come on, core tight, arm up and down. We don't want to go above shoulder level, causing, you know, strain on there on our shoulder height, and back down. Keeping the tension on the band and back down and down. And that's lateral raise. Front raise, simply the same thing. Step on your band. You know what I'm saying? This is front raise, right in front of us. Again, shoulder height. Don't need to go way up here. Shoulder height right there. That's working anterior deltoid or the shoulder muscle. Get some scap muscle as well in the back. And that's going to be vital for strengthening the muscles that are wrapped around that shoulder and the shoulder joint as well. We want to get some chest in. You take this band, wrap it real tight, and we can pull it apart. All right, keep your attention on it and pull it apart. We're also getting some back in as well, almost working like a lat pull down. And we're working those shoulder muscles again as well, working those scalp muscles, stretching that chest out as well. All right, gave you a couple. Oh, also with the lateral raise, we can do open can, empty can. What I mean by that is empty can, I got it, my thumb is down, put my shoulder joint at a different angle, and again, we're gonna raise out to the side with that thumb down. That's empty can. All right, up. Then we wanna have full can, thumb up, working different sections of the muscle in the deltoid, and up and back down. All right, and relax. So I just gave you about 3 or 4 shoulder exercises you can do with a simple band right here behind you. You can also work the triceps, which works on extension. We can work that, get that band behind our back, and you can do a French curl right here. And you can French curl it out. Hand behind there, that band there, pull it straight up and straight back down. Straight up, stretching that hamstring. We also do curls with this band. There, wrap the band around your arm here, and we can curl. Making sure you step on that band, keeping the tension, and curling and squeezing the bicep. And curl. So, just gave you a lot of exercises to do with your legs for right now that you can do at home. We can also do jumping jacks. You can run in place, get out in the yard, run some sprints, keep yourself in motion, staying healthy, staying in shape, staying fit, ready for the baseball season to open back up. Got some more video stuff coming for you. This is catcher specific stuff to work the catchers and get you stretched out, get you loosened up. You can do this stuff all the time. You can do it before the game, but it's good. Maintenance exercises, good stuff to get you loose before the game and getting behind that plate, because we know there's a demanding position, especially on young legs, young bodies sitting there squat down for 5 innings, 6 innings, might be an hour, 2 hours, and constantly doing over the lifespan of your career, and try to keep you from ending up in at first base because you got bad knees like me. So I got one of my high school players, Mr. Charlie Freeman, who catches for me. I'm gonna take him through these exercises. He's gonna be my crash test dummy for y'all in doing these exercises. So the first thing we want to do some hip internal rotation, hip rotation to get his hips loose. So Charlie, we're gonna bring that hip inside. So he's pushing that hip down inside, get those hip flexors loose, and he's going internal rotation. If you got to do like he do, he a little tight, push his leg in to create more flexibility, and rotate it, and he's gonna do both legs, rotating them in and out. If you see, he's pushing, getting them hips, go out one time, Charlie, and internally rotating those legs to the inside of the midline to create those, getting his hips loose and everything. For him, he got tight hips. He's 15 years old and he got hips like an old man. Right. Standing up. And we're gonna do scorpion. Do scorpion, you know how to do scorpion. Land on your back and swing your legs, land on your stomach and swing your legs over. So we're gonna do a scorpion, which is also something to help get his legs loose as well as lower back. We're gonna do a scorpion, which he's gonna swing. Nope, that ain't scorpion, Charlie. Good Lord.
Well, what did you do then?
Scorpion. Here. Take that leg.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So this is scorpion. This is good for your lower back as well as your hips. Stretching the hips. You're gonna take that opposite leg over the other leg and stretch that lower back. We're trying to keep our hips as flat as we possibly can on the ground and get full range of motion. So again, this is a scorpion, good for stretching the lower back and working those hip muscles. All right, relax, Charlie. You're about to die. All right, stay there. Another good back exercise is Superman. This Superman exercise is good for our core. Again, you're gonna be squatted down. That core is vital to stabilization and keeping yourself stable and upright and well balanced in that squat position. So we're gonna do the Superman. Basically your chest and your legs come up off the feet, come off the ground, and like you're flying. So we do about 20 of these. Make sure you hold and getting that lower back stretched out real good and loose. Up and down again, like I say, 10 to 15. That's a good exercise to go either scorpion right into Superman or Superman right into the scorpion move. All right, Charlie, relax. All right, up. All right, squat down. Yeah, squat down. Catch it like you're holding catch. Pause real quick. All right, we got some band work that we can do with the catchers here. Charlie got my little red trusty band we're gonna work on. Specifically that catching hand, that receiving hand, and strengthen that wrist up, strengthen that shoulder up. And Charlie he stepped on one side of the band, and he has the other band, and he's just gonna stretch and pull. Pull that band. Make sure you got good tension on it. Got that shoulder, working that shoulder area so that you got good stabilization, good support when you're catching that ball, and the ball is not catching you and having the mitt jerking all over the place. You strengthen those shoulder muscles around there so you can frame that ball and really have good give and stabilization with that ball. Relax. You can on release for this one. All right, another exercise we can do is that's catcher specific. See, Charlie got a bat. We're gonna work on strengthening their forearms and wrists, and he's gonna do some internal and external rotation with the wrist, or supination and pronation with his radial and ulnar, but basically his wrist muscles. Again, making his wrist strong, able to receive that ball, not to get the ball beating him up or catching him when he's catching the ball back there receiving. He's strong, he's stiff, he's able to frame that ball and stop that ball. So this is a good motion, good thing to just grab your bat and just hit and internally rotate, externally rotate that wrist, or pronate and supinate that wrist on your throwing hand specifically. Catching hand specifically to strengthen it. And if you want to you can stop, Charlie. You want to put a little bit more stress on yourself, you can put a donut weight at the end of that bat and do the same thing, and stretch those forearms. All right, fellas, I gave y'all a bunch of exercises to do. You can go home, that you can do at home. You can do out in the yard. You can do in your house. A lot of the stuff I gave in the beginning is not position specific. Everybody can do it. Good for working your legs. Again, I gave a couple exercises at the end for catcher specific stuff. But they say that stuff in the beginning is also good for the catchers as well, strengthening their arms, definitely their legs and things of that nature. So, hey, keep up the good work. Hope to see y'all soon. Get back on the field and grind. Keep pushing. 5-2 baseball.